And that's a real good question. First off, don't panic. What I suggest is you do not contact the IRS directly. How you deal with an audit is very important, and you want to make sure that you have all your ducks in a row, that you have all your information together. You do not want to provide inaccurate information. You also do not want to provide any more information than what is required and necessary. So you need to get a hold of a good CPA accounting firm that deals with these kind of issues. So typically what I coach my clients, and oftentimes I've got one, for example, that I've been telling him for several years, he's going to get audited. They're just profiles. See, we know the red flag that the IRS, their software is designed to pick up. And there are certain things about businesses, certain transactions, certain dollar amounts, certain types of ratios, significant changes from one year to the next in tax in categories. You have a huge amount of tax write-offs one year in a certain category and then nothing the next year, or vice versa. So there are these things that will generate a red flag for the IRS and sometimes a state taxing agency as well. Working with someone that knows these things that'll set off those alarms. With the IRS, your accountant, your CPA, if they know what they're doing, can kind of prep you and start preparing ahead of time. So I have some clients that I've been working with for several years saying, you're going to get audited. It's just a matter of time because of what's going on in their business, because they had a huge increase in income from one year to the next, or the category of income, or the type of business that they're in, or whatever. And it's just a matter of time. And if you have a pretty good idea what causes or what is more likely to generate an audit, then you can be preparing for that, and there's no reason to freak out. But again, you got to be working with your accountant, your CPA, to make sure you're prepared. And it's important to be prepared. You do not want to just start from scratch. Now, let's say you haven't been working with a CPA, you haven't been working with an accountant, you've gotten your taxes done wherever and with whoever, or maybe you're just not comfortable. Maybe, you've been dealing with an accountant, somebody for years, and they've always been fine, and it's not easy to share your financial information with somebody new that you've never dealt with before. But when it comes time to deal with an audit with the IRS or any other taxing agency, you want to make sure you've got somebody that specializes in that area or is highly skilled and experienced and knows what to do, how to do it, when to do it, what not to do, what not to say, what information not to disclose that might make matters worse. So get somebody that knows what they're doing. Don't contact the IRS yourself. Happy to offer a free consultation here. We have some information. We got some tips in our free resources section on our website on how to avoid, minimize the likelihood of getting audit, and how to, and some tips on preparing for one if you think there's a chance you might get audited in the future, the kind of records you're going to try and need to maintain, and also what to do and not to do to minimize the likelihood of getting an audit in the future.
Thank you, Tony. That was a very thorough explanation.